Hardforking presents Play to Earn Community.
Join the Discord to learn more.
Welcome back to the Hardforking channel and to our Play to Earn show with my co-host Mathematics and Johnny Gonzo. How are you guys?
Super.
What a crazy week. We are going to cover a whole heap of content today. This is the most important half hour of your life, believe me on that one. On that note, hit the like button, do subscribe to this channel and hit that little bell notification as well. We're getting into the super interesting part of this particular cycle. We're going to be discussing that today. When's this bubble going to burst? How we'll play to earn fair. But first, this.
So the market cap is $2.168 trillion. And now the market, oh, it went to zero. Damn, there we go. Squid Games. Sayonara, motherfucker.
Ow! Zero. Squid Game.
That's a Sam Kinison moment.
That's red light, green light with your money.
Red light.
There it goes. You lost. All gone. Trading shit coins.
For anyone watching, we are going to do our best to guide you through what is going to be one hell of a ride for the next few months. We're not quite sure when the market's going to top out here. What we do know is that we will stay committed to our Play to Earn community. We're going to grow it, whether it's a bull market or a bear market. So, guys, I mean, what a crazy week. Facebook rebranding to Meta as in metaverse. Just more confirmation that's the way everything is heading. What are your thoughts? Maybe you first, Mr. Gonzo. Is this a good thing or a bad thing for blockchain gaming, for Play to Earn? What do you think?
It's just as good for the metaverse as Ripple was for the banking industry. You know what I mean? It's just like a centralized version of the real product. You know, ride the hype wave, you know, sell all your assets into Zuckerberg control. I don't know. No, thank you. I mean, it's going to get hype and it's going to bring attention for sure, no doubt. I mean, they even stole the Axie logo. Shout out to J-Ho for spotting that.
Yeah.
Jesus, like, come on, guys, try a bit harder. I don't know, there's so many funny images going around of meta memes. Meta meth book.
Meta math.
Yeah, meth.
Oh, yeah.
There's another great one here. Check this out. Black Mirror. Very prophetic, that series. And it seems like every week we can talk about it. Like the next step, the next evolution. It's just like we are going so fast, so hard into the Black Mirror. And the end game of the Black Mirror is the Matrix #1. You know what I mean? Like, we're going fast.
Yeah. They should just rename it Mirror.
Yeah, just the mirror.
It is huge news. Actually, here's a really short clip of Zuckerberg talking about the metaverse and what Facebook is going to do. So let's have a look at that.
Privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one. You'll get to decide when you want to be with other people, when you want to block someone from appearing in your space, or when you want to take a break and teleport to a private bubble to be alone. You're going to be able to bring things from the physical world into the metaverse. Almost any type of media that can be represented digitally, photos, videos, art, music, movies, books, games, you name it.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold them down by your side. Yeah, great.
Now, lots of things that are physical today, like screens, will just be able to be holograms in the future. You won't need a physical TV, it'll just be a $1 hologram from some high school kid halfway across the world. And you'll be able to take your items and project them into the physical world as holograms in augmented reality too.
On the counterpoint, Sean, there's an interesting article I read about one of the head developers at Oculus, right? And Oculus got bought by Facebook. And he's like, I'm not into it. And he works for Oculus. But he's, you know, basically what he said is that, like, you know, the metaverse is supposed to be decentralized. And that's where it should go. And that's where the most power and the most use will be. The Facebook version is just another centralized version of it. It's like trading Bitcoin on BitMEX, you know? I mean, you can have a real metaverse, and there's many, many developing projects. You know, we've got Decentraland that's been around forever. We've got Axie, which is, you know, not quite decentralized. They focus more on gameplay first and building the metaverse.
What would you guys say is the best metaverse at the moment? I mean, for me, Sandbox is without a doubt probably the best looking. We've seen Decentraland shoot up 300%. Congratulations to anyone holding metaverse tokens.
Decentraland is the only metaverse that I've like entered and taken part in events and done things in. So just by default, that's the only one that I would put on the top of my list at the moment, because that's the one that I've used.
I'm gonna go one step further and say the best and the only actual metaverse in regards to like Facebook, what they're calling meta, would be Revomon. They have 3 worlds, they have a bunch of characters, you put it on, you play it, you can mint your NFTs. I know Decentraland was focusing on VR at the beginning, but they pulled that away because it was distracting from the regular development. I'm sure they'll probably enable that later, but for right now, in actual pure sense of the term, like VR and the metaverse, I would say it's got to be Revomon, because that's the only one I've played.
The Matrix, I don't know if you guys saw it, the Matrix Resurrections movie is coming out soon, and they did an official Twitter post talking about meta.
Oh, really? Welcome to the metaverse?
Based on real events, the choice is yours.
But what did they say?
I think they're mildly mocking.
In this case, the red pill would be meta, and the blue pill.
The red pill. I think the blue pill is going into the metaverse, and the red pill is pulling out. But I mean, if you're basing it on the movie, that would mean that meta is a bad place to go. And I honestly don't. I quit Facebook quite literally 3 weeks before this announcement came out, and I had no idea about it. But there's something fishy. The world's biggest dominator of all social media, trying to now be the emperor of your metaverse.
Remember Facebook coin, guys? What the fuck was that piece of shit called? No one remembers that one, but
Libra?
Libra, right?
Facebook supposedly has about 2.5 billion users. If it were to launch its own currency, it would make it more powerful than any country on earth. I think governments and regulators obviously would have a huge amount of fear over something like that happening. How this metaverse play is regulated by them as well will be quite interesting. They are powerful. Let's be under no illusions.
Bigger than Jesus.
I mean, look, I've got mixed feelings on it. It just highlights what is going on. I mean, obviously, you raised a great point there. What's happening in crypto is much more about being in control of your own data. It is going to be a very different metaverse. But, in saying that, in Decentraland this week, there's concerts happening there. Literally, as we speak, Zed Run, which we've looked at a number of times, is doing a Melbourne Cup event literally right now.
Melbourne Cup? Awesome.
There's bands, there's games. I mean, the whole idea of a metaverse is this. This is the place where you're going to do everything. I saw something in Decentraland the other day. You were moving around in a game and you could order a pizza, and bang, the pizza arrives at your house. This is where we're at with Decentraland at the moment. As I say, for me, Sandbox is probably a much better looking at this point. But Gonzo, you got me into Decentraland back in early 2018.
Sure did. Please
tell me you're still holding some of that token after what's just happened in the last week.
I have minimal amounts of tokens, but I have land, and the land is pretty much doubled. All the bot prices now. I'm getting, I'm always getting offers, with the bots, and then as soon as that meta news happened, the offers just went way up, and those are the floor ones. So, yeah, those are doing really great. So, just holding there.
Speaking of bots, is this change in the Axie mechanics, is that based on bots? What are your thoughts on that?
Sure is. I mean, they've said, numerous times that the biggest driver of this move with the below 800 MMR was to prevent people from botting the game. It kind of has a knock-on effect, and I've noticed, in their wording, they've mentioned it more than once that this experiment, right, it's an experiment, and, I think that's the way they're going to do everything from now on, is they're going to preface everything like, look, we're adjusting the game mechanic, we're adjusting the economics, we're going to adjust the breeding fees. All these adjustments, they're experiments, because they don't really know how it's, they have a good idea, and then you turn it on and it goes live, and then all these millions of people are like, stress test, live stress test. But what the knock-on effect is that it's actually affected a lot of longtime scholars like the famous documentary that everybody knows Axie about. It's like, the mom and the pop sitting behind the shop, right? If you guys look at those guys now and you ask them how the new changes have affected them, I'll bet you a lot of them are going to be struggling to make any money now, because the MMR, it really promotes really competitive gameplay. And, a lot of people were playing because it was just supplemental income, right? And they needed something. And they're not the best players. They don't have the most time, right? It's, like there is literally 65, 75-year-old people playing, right? And not that, I'm ageist or anything. We have a couple really great older scholars, but in general, most of the older scholars don't have, the time and the motor skills, and, it's not exactly a thing that you would expect them to excel at, but they still appreciated the value that they could get by putting their time into it and getting a bit of SLP out of it at the end of 2 weeks.
We're trying to do everything we can especially for those people that have fallen below that threshold. I've reached out and spoken to a few of you in the last 24 hours, but we've also got a couple of guys that are streaming on the Hardforking channel now, and to encourage everyone to subscribe to the Hardforking Twitch. We've got a 2,000 SLP prize, 1,000 to 2 winners. All you need to do is comment below this video and make sure you are subscribed to the Hardforking Twitch, and that will be given away on a Twitch stream next week. So please get along and do that.
And connected to that, the scholars, they can all play their friends now because they've re-enabled the PV, I guess, friendly PvP where you can play your buddy. So all you have to do is you have to trade Ronin wallets with, the lead scholars and the other people in your house, and then you guys can play each other for free. So, you're going to be able to get a lot more direct feedback if you play each other directly. Be like, oh, on this turn you should have done that, and that turn you should have done this. And then also it will give the lead a chance to assess your ability, your team, and your tactics. So over the weekend, I wanted everybody to try and, friendly PvP your friends. The more that we do that, the better everybody's going to be. And also, when you're just starting out on a new account, do that as much as you can and less in the actual PvP, because in that way you can learn tactics without actually getting driven down in the MMR. So there are tools there, but again, it still requires work and it still requires dedication and time.
Mathematics, what have you been up to?
It's been a interesting time in the Harmony blockchain world. Defi Kingdoms, the price has been kind of tanking the past couple of days. But from everything that I've heard, it has been a matter of whales and people who got in early finally taking profits. But it's funny, you look at the Telegram group and you got two types of people. You got people who have one sentence, which is, it's tanking, it's over, it's fucked, we're screwed. And then the other people with like a paragraph of who have, actually done their research on the project and they're happy about it. Also, if you take a look at the price of one, it's basically doing the same thing as DeFi Kingdoms, which is, it's been going down for a little bit. They're almost paired in that sense. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about price of coins right now. Like, you got two types of people. They see price go down, panic. They see price go up, I'm going to be rich. And I just don't think that crypto it's 99% of the time that's not the case. And I've been one to be guilty of that in the past. Just ask Sean, he'll get a private message from me at 4 a.m. being like, I hate crypto. I just hate it. I'm out. And it's just because, it's because the whole market went blood red. And it's not me believing that. It's just me being angry and letting out my frustrations on, that guy.
Some 2,000 APY can kind of affect that price too, I think, right?
Yeah.
Combine some high staking rewards and a general market downturn. Makes an easy sell, right?
All of these games on the Harmony, there's Harmony is going crazy right now, and there's a bunch of games that are popping up, and I think there's a lot of people who are literally, skipping from one to the next, hopscotching to the one to the next game.
100% that's what's going on. That's where we're at in this cycle. Something pumps, they take their money, move to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that some people, they're literally looking for anything, and they don't even know what they're putting it into, and then when it tanks or even gets rug pulled, they're like, what the fuck? It's like, well, because you did zero research. I mean, it's one thing to just hopscotch from one project to the next and hope that you're going to be a billionaire in a week. A second thing that I was paying attention to, as we all know, I've been looking at Polychain Monsters, and they have done a partnership with Tofu NFT, and with their latest packs that they're releasing, the first 20 people that discover their
that's hilarious.
God's Unizilla NFT The first 20 people that get that, they will be granted with a utility, which is 30 days of feeless trading on Tofu NFT. So I guess if people are trying to get some, that's a pretty good deal considering I think they're taking 5% fee for each trade. So anyone who's interested in Tofu NFT and all that, maybe they can get their hands on one of these Zillas and take care of business. But yeah, that's what's going on.
You know what I was working on this weekend? Gonzillomon, which is basically the Godzilla that we're going to have in Revomon as a collaboration between Hardforking and Revomon. So that's...
Wait, so you're kind of going to be in the game?
Yes! We're going to have an NFT in there. So here, let me...
Oh my God. Is it going to have a huge beard?
Ha! Actually, it's going to be a bearded dragon at the end, yes.
That's absolutely awesome, Mr. Gonzo, and congratulations for winning 500 Nine Chronicles tokens with your entry for their first birthday.
My crappy drawing. There was a bit of consternation on Twitter about that. They were supposed to be crappy.
What did they say? You're like, what they call it? Like most bizarre or something? Or
most interesting.
Most interesting.
I think something like that.
That's you.
Well, yeah, because the little monster, he's eating all the cans of tuna.
Ridiculously interesting it was.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, he was...
Ridiculously interesting.
He got all whooped up on the critical tuna, and then he's got nothing to do, and it's his birthday.
On that note, people, and I know we've got a hell of a lot of talented people in our community. As we've told you a million times, Nine Chronicles is very much about a community-owned project. They've got a really good content creators program. As you've just heard, Mr. Gonzo won 500 NCG, so did I think 10 or so other people. We've actually given away over 10,000 in NCG in the last few weeks. But there's a link below. If you are a content creator, you can get in touch with them. Also hit us up as well if you want more details. But yeah, there's a fantastic content creators program going with a game that we think has a massive future.
I'm running Nine Chronicles on a different computer, so I have to kind of use my phone to take pictures, but I threw together a little diagram here. My question is, you know, I've got some nice items, but my ring game leaves a lot to be desirable. And if you look here, I've got one ring that's a +4 with lower CP but higher stats. I've got one ring that's got higher CP but lower stats and an extra skill. Now, if you look at the way that the game suggests to me, it suggests that the lower CP with higher stats is the one that I should be equipping and using.
Yep.
And now, because it has higher defense, higher speed, all of that. But the one with the huge typhoon, I mean, that I kind of think it's cool to have that huge typhoon because every now and then,
that's by far the better ring of those two.
Okay, so why would you? I guess we've gone over this, but why would Nine Chronicles suggest that that's not the good one?
But it has a higher CP. Right?
Yeah. Look, this is the funny thing. I have a sword that has got much higher CP, but I've run two different. So basically, what you should do is just go onto the same stage and try out different material to understand that. But for example, I've got a fire sword, one of the lower categories, and that's got a special power, whatever it is, a typhoon or I forget exactly what that one is. But yeah, that's actually churning through stages for me better than something with a CP that is far in excess. So you really want to be looking at the things with those special abilities. And also at the moment, I think looking at what you're using there, I would kind of suggest the fire categories at the moment and go in and play that other stage, but I'll maybe do a session on Twitch on that.
Well, this leads to like another question I had, which was that some of my other items, like I've got a +7 sword, I've got a +7 armor, but like as you can see, one of my top rings is a gold one +6, and then the other one, when I upgrade this, will be a +5 light green one. Now, obviously, there's much better items out there, but when I start having like cheap opportunities to upgrade the current ones, I'm like, well, is it worth even upgrading these ones, or is it better to just try to sell it all later and have the best of the best? Like, what is the like? I don't know which way I should go.
I have noticed that because we're not having another season probably for somewhere 6 to 8 weeks, the liquidity in the market at the moment maybe isn't that high. So I think there's probably more of a buyer's market right now. as opposed to selling. For me personally, I'm just sitting on a bunch of my NFTs instead of dropping the price. I don't need to do that. I'm not really sort of farming equipment at the moment. I'm actually upgrading stuff that I'm not even using, so that when the next season rolls around, a bunch of new players come in, instead of them having to either cheat and get a bot to level up, they will just come in and buy equipment. So that's my strategy. It's whatever works for you, basically. I mean, you can craft stuff and sell it now. Me personally, I'm just going to sit on stuff until the next season. I think there'll be more of a buying frenzy then. I have noticed that a lot of good items, it's worth trawling through there. There's always someone that possibly doesn't understand this properly yet, and they're selling something. That's where the CP helps. If you see something that is a dramatically lower price based on CP, go and pick it up. It's a buyer's market right now.
And another good tip is, right, like if you see two, like there'll be 2 plus 3s, they're similarly priced and they're both way under, grab them and then you can combine them, right?
Yeah.
Well, make sure they don't have different abilities.
Yeah, there's a lot of grind work involved in this game, but if you've got the tokens, you can certainly throw money at that problem and level up pretty quickly.
Such is life.
On that note, I was reading today that 50% of all crypto wallets at this point have interacted with a blockchain game. This space is, for me, where the real adoption is happening. I think this is the first and best use case of blockchain technology, in my opinion. We've been doing this now for a couple of years. As I said, bull market, bear market, we will be here growing our community. So if you haven't joined us yet, make sure you do. Jump into the Discord. New website launching in the next couple of days as well. Mr. Gonzo, anything else that you want to share that you've been up to over the last week in the play to earn space?
I got a couple items. I got a free NFT, woohoo, from a Halloween NFT from Revo. If you had interacted with the game and you had an NFT in your wallet, and I think if you were a certain tier, you got a couple NFT airdrops. So if you guys have any Revo in your wallet, double check. You get a Halloween jack-o'-lantern, and then there's a new monster in there I'm going to try and catch that's available for a couple days. And I also just contributed to the next metaverse. We were talking about, Decentraland, right, is layer 1. It's built on Ethereum, right? And, ETH 2.0 is going to apparently solve all these gas and fee issues and speed issues, congestion and all that stuff. But in the meantime, I've did a pre-sale for BitCountry, which is built on the Kusama parachain. And I contributed some KSM to there to get some near tokens. And that's really cool because that's the project where they allow you the tools to build your own metaverse. Check that out. There's a couple promos on my Twitter where you can win $100 in Kusama just to check it out and follow them along with their progress. So the thing with that project is that you lock your Kusama for almost a year. In the meantime, they give you, it's like a pre-sale, but the vesting is quite a long time. So basically, instead of you getting the rewards for your staking, they take them and they use them to build, and then you get your tokens back at the end, and you get in exchange the project tokens. So that's a super, super interesting project, the way that it's like interlopable, built on the next layer of technology, nice long lockup. It's got lots of funding and lots of grants from other projects like Parachain and Polkadot, Kusama. So there was one other super interesting, talking on DeFi, Sean, this interesting site that I just found. And it actually collects all the data from all the different protocols, both DeFi, everything that's locked in them. So here, this is showing the Ethereum bridges, right, over time and how much activity they have, right? So there's Harmony, Near, Solana, Phantom, but obviously they just added Axie in there, which is this one. And it's the biggest bridge with $5 billion. What's really interesting is we're seeing the actual bridging, like it just took a nosedive here the last 2 days because the fees went so crazy. But then if we also look at the market share, Ronin is number 1 with $5.8 billion. And then next is Polygon, right? And then this is the assets, right? So there's WETH or ETH, right? Which is 7.3 billion. And then the next one is AXS with 5.35.
Damn.
So, when you combine all the stuff in the staking, all the game assets, the SLP, the AXS, all the stuff that's going on this layer 2, so there's $21.7 billion locked. 36% increase in the last 30 days, right? So, and then almost 200,000 30-day unique ads. So this is super interesting information, and just backs up everything that we're talking about. It's just everything is growing exponentially, right? We're experiencing network effects, and we're so early. Just buckle up, you guys. Buckle up. Pack your bags. Buckle up.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we're also looking for people to try out new games. We're getting a lot of gaming studios approaching us at the moment. So there is a group in our Discord. If you are interested to test out games, let us and the community know what you think of them, whether we should look to build scholarships around these games, etc. Link below to that particular group in the Discord. Come and get involved. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching today. If you haven't hit the like button, please show us the courtesy and do that. You're more than welcome to join our community, get into the Discord. Website will be up in the next few days as well. I just want to reiterate, we're going to go through some wild times in the next couple of months price-wise. Look, we're not here to give you financial advice, but we'll certainly be telling you how we're approaching this stage of this particular cycle. But I just want to reiterate to our existing scholars, we're in this for the long haul, regardless of a bull market or a bear market. This isn't a trading show. This is about building a play-to-earn community. We hope you've enjoyed this content. We're here once a week doing this, and we're back here tomorrow with Blue, Thursday with Jesse and Leanne. But most importantly, please go and subscribe to our Twitch stream, enter the SLP contest. Playing us out, another great track from Mathematics. We'll see you all next time. Cheers now.
Oh yeah. One other quick one for all you Gala node owners. Go vote. Go vote for your Gala node if you got a Gala node.